Hi, this is Kevin Croak, head coach at UCD Rugby Club. In this series of interviews, in conjunction with club sponsor Crow, we talk to past and present players who share their memories of the club and how it has impacted their career both on and off the field. In this interview, I catch up with Will Connors and Hugo Keenan. They talk about what UCD means to them and their families, the step up from schools into club rugby, and how UCD helped them along their journey from Irish Sevens, Leinster, Ireland, and their involvement in tag rugby. Lads, thanks for taking the time to join us today. What was the attraction in joining UCD for both of you, and what were your first impressions when you came in?
I suppose I was in a year before Will, being in the year above him in school. I was lucky enough. I had my older brother, Rob, who had sort of experience going into that under-20s UCD setup, and he was the one who encouraged me to get involved. I found probably the reason that why I went for UCD is it was a good mix of that top level rugby that you wanted to playing in that sort of under-20s top division, and then also the chance to meet new people from different schools, different backgrounds, and I suppose to make friends that way. So that was sort of the reasons why I got in, and it was a great way to do it. And you're at under-20s level, you're playing with all lads around similar ages, year aboves, and with the two teams, different levels and whatnot. So it was competitive.
Yeah, I suppose I was similar enough. I came in through the Ad Astra, which was obviously a nice little one. Barry didn't have anything to boast about, but no, but like in all seriousness, there was Noel Mack. He was my coach in school, and he obviously went over to UCD, and he talked about the quality of rugby that was being played there, and the expectations of winning AIL and stuff. And I suppose coming out of school, that's you want to put yourself into the best possible position. So it was a bit of a no-brainer to put myself forward into UCD. And to be honest, I enjoyed it a lot more than I'd say I'd initially anticipated. I think the lads that you end up making friends with in there and stuff, obviously Hugo, and then I'm living with Jimmy O'Brien and people like that. There's a great bunch at our under-20s, and we're quite lucky. We had quite a strong under-20s team. So we were winning every week, and to even get a chance to play kind of AIL in your first season was something special. I was part of that team. We won over against Old Belvo and Donnybrook, the Leinster League. So there was
I played in that final as well.
I think you were playing J1s then, Barry. But yeah, like to get a taste of silverware in your first year is something not many people get the chance to do. So I think for me, UCD going there, it was a great chance.
You guys both had some success in school in rugby. I think you may have played against each other a couple of times. How did you find the transition from school into club rugby, and how did you find competing with players that you had previously competed against?
Yeah, you forget about it pretty quickly. I think like once you start training with lads, you have to sort of come in with that open mindset. I suppose you might have known a few from underage setups with Leinster and stuff, and it's just about getting to know the other lads, and it's always those piss ups and the after game drinks and things like that, and the social events around training and matches and stuff. That's what brings you close together. And like it's always like a regular going to the UCD clubhouse post game and things like that. So the rivalries from school and whatnot. Like Porridge is still a bit bitter about me beating them in the senior cup final, but most other lads, we forget it pretty quickly and move on, and then it's all about, I suppose, winning silverware with UCD as Porridge was saying earlier.
Yeah, I think same idea there. It's you do kind of forget about the competition you had, I suppose, only a couple of months earlier with some of the school guys. But like you said, it's lads like Barry and stuff that would have been the year ahead of you. Like he wouldn't have had too much of an influence with Blackrock. So like those kind of guys you wouldn't have really feared playing with. You wouldn't have really known them before, so you kind of get to meet guys like him and stuff. And yeah, I suppose it's great in that aspect.
Just Croaky, to clarify things, Parge is starting to call me Barry now, just in case that's confusing you.
Everybody has a game that they can remember vividly for lots of different reasons. Is there a game that sticks out to you guys from your time in UCD?
I suppose for me, it was when we beat Belvo in the Leinster Senior Cup final. It was my second year out of school. And I'd only about maybe 3 or 4 appearances playing for the UCD first team. And I remember got a bit of a run before we beat Lansdowne in the semi-final, and then went on to play Belvedere in the final in Donnybrook. And we won a bit of silverware with under 20s, but that was the only time I ever won something with the first team. So yeah, that was probably the most special one that sticks out.
And a good night out afterwards.
Oh by God, straight to Hardigans.
Yeah. Yeah, like that obviously would have been one of my most memorable games. But I think the one that probably stands out the most is that same year, playing Clontarf in the semi-final. That was a tough one to take, tough pill to swallow. I think we'd had such a strong start to the season. I hadn't been playing any of those games. And it's nearly like when I got involved with the senior team, we started losing games. So I don't know if that if there's anything for me to do with that. But yeah, like I think that it was for my first year out of school, to get a flavour of that, like I remember it was packed down in Tarf, and like it was a brutal game. I think it was like it was as close to a professional game as I'd ever played. Like, so no, that was a cool experience. Obviously come out on the wrong end of it, but stands out.
I remember that game as well, Croaky, and just the standard of players in it. I think like Nick McCarthy, Ross Byrne, Adam Byrne, Barry Daly, Joey Carberry, Dan Levy, like Patter Tim, and so many Leinster and pro players were playing in that game. So I couldn't even get into the squad, but I was there in Tarf watching it. So yeah, I can see why Will remembers that one.
Big hallmark of university rugby is the colours match. It's something people don't know about until they come in, and then it becomes a big part of the experience. Could you guys maybe tell us some of your experiences of colours games?
Croaky, unfortunately, that's one of my regrets from club rugby is that I never got my colours with the first team. Yeah, that was a pity. I played on the under 20s colours in those colours games, but I was always dragged off to sevens in that sort of time. It would always happen around April, and that Hong Kong tournament was always knocking about then. So yeah, it's something my old man and my brother still slag me about not having my colours. So, but I suppose Parge, I don't know if you played, did you got the...
Believe it or not, I was part of sevens as well, so I never got a chance either. We're actually incredibly unlucky because the first year of under 20s, that away game to Trinity, the one I remember we lost, that was just the week after the last Six Nations game, so we weren't allowed to play that. And then the other two that we would have been available for, we were there was Hong Kong, and then there was the tournament with Co-Optimus, which a sevens tournament, which he was a cap. The first and last time he's ever been the captain of a team. But yeah, to play colours, which is definitely something we're gonna have to change.
Lads, you were both high-profile players at a schools level coming into UCD. Was there any player in UCD that really stood out to you when you were playing here?
I think the standout player to me in UCD, Barry Daly, and I think he has to be the most athletic freak. Like, he was huge for UCD, and he came into Leinster and was obviously had just as big an impact. I think he was just incredibly unfortunate with injuries, but like for UCD, he was huge. I think those years when like when we'd been doing well, like when I'd been early in there, he was hugely part of that, and then he was hugely part of Leinster's success. I think he was hardly done by injuries.
Crokey, the person who probably stood out for me all the way up was maybe Greg Jones. So he'd always played underage with him and stuff, but yeah, he was absolutely incredible at AIL level in under 20s all the way up. And like, he was good on and off the pitch as well. He was a great man for a kiss up then. And he's obviously going well in Ulster up north now. So yeah, I'd say him.
What words would encapsulate UCD for you?
I suppose friendships and the crack.
Yeah.
Definitely too, like the amount of lads you get to know through it, and like I still have a WhatsApp group with about 8 of under 20s lads from my first year, still active and still going, and we meet up the odd time for pints and stuff, and it's a collection of different lads from different schools, different areas and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll stick on, and the traditions will keep going in that regard.
I'm gonna have to rob his words again, but I think add to his point. I think it's only like us, like as players, that really get those friendships. I think when you look off the field, like my dad, for example, PK, it's like there's a great bunch there, and they'd all have great crack together at the games and stuff. And I think for everyone involved, it's a very inclusive club. I think everyone involved gets something out of it, and I think that's the nice bit about it. It's quite a tight family, and no, that's it really.
The focus oftentimes with UCD Rugby is the on-pitch activities. What off-pitch initiatives did you guys get involved in?
Yeah, there was. Me and Porridge were both involved in the UCD Tag Rugby, so I got involved in sort of the formation of it firstly. So I was more in charge of the refs and organising all that aspect, and we got about 10 lads from our under 20s team. We got them fully trained by Dudley Phillips as RFU tag refs, and then we'd come down on Monday night and just ref games. And Tygo O'Leary and a few lads, Robin Reedy and Hannah and stuff, they were the organisers, and then they'd just link in with me, and I get a few of the lads down, and that was great fun. You'd be reffing some of your mates sometimes, so you'd be given a few dodgy decisions here and there, but it was a mixed league and stuff like that, and it was for social, just for the social aspects of it. So it was great to get involved in something like that, and it was enjoyable at the same time. I know Porridge was at fault for a few dodgy decisions, and he got a lot of complaints, but it was good crack.
I'd be getting run out at the end of the night nearly. It was brutal enough. Nearly
as bad as Johnny Glynn.
Yeah. between the two of us, we nearly had the whole thing shut down and say.
Yeah.
But it was good crack. Barry would be going down with the phone out and the full Leinster gear on, looking to see could he get any numbers at the end. He's still waiting.